Fat and Skinny was in the bed. Fat blew fart and Skinny was dead.
That's terrible, man. That is terrible.
Well, I'm working on that. So I'm working on that.
That is terrible, Vince.
Some laughs.
That took me. That took me back to third. That took me back to third and fourth grade. I don't know when the last time I heard that.
That's exactly when I heard it.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
The video is not going to show Vince, so let's get going.
Okay, my pleasure. Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Daily Huddle. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, and thanks to each and every one of you that has made the decision and the commitment to join us here on the Daily Huddle. My name is Vince Rountree. Myself and my co-host, Rawlin Vanatta, who will be popping in here any second now. We are the co-host of the Health, Wellness, and Vitality Show. And today we are going to talk to you about cravings. We're going to talk to you about why that there are foods that you get this feeling like you've got to have it and you got to have it now, and what you can do about that. But until that time, I want to talk to a couple of my Daily Huddle family, and we will start the day by asking Miss Andrea Villa, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Viz. I am the way I say I am, and today I am creative.
You are creative. I love it. You're creative because you say you are creative. Think of how much power you really have in your outlook on life. The fact that you are the way you say you are. There's a reason why we start every Daily Huddle with that. Because it gives you so much power over yourself. You have agency, and we remind you every day. My next question goes to Stan the Man. My brother, tell me, what time is it?
Vince, the time is now. The only time there is, brother.
The only time there is. It is now. And my next question goes to my brother, Stacy, Eric B. and Rakim. I ain't forgetting that because you touched me right in a place that means so much to me. Tell me, this morning, Stan, I want to know, where are you?
That's for Stacy, right?
Oh, Stacy. I meant Stacy.
Where am I? I am in a space of vulnerability, and I am in a space where I am safe with my Daily Huddle family to get the very necessary information that I need so that I can operate in the now, the time the only time that we have.
See, I knew that there was something that was going to come from that brother. Any brother that's pulling Rakim, I know he's going to pull up some stuff that's going to put it on me and make me think and give me something that I need for the day. I love it, man. Thank you. Thank you for that. And my last question, and oh my goodness, I see now that my co-host has joined me. He may not hear me quite yet, audio getting set up. Excellent, excellent. Well, as he is popping in, I'm just going to ask him the last question, and tell me, Mr. Rawlin Vanatta, what are you proud of today?
I'm proud that I just made it on this hole 1 minute before, I suppose. So I'm proud of that. So I'm proud of my wife because I was caught up, and she's like, "Hey, don't you supposed to?" I'm like, "Oh, yes, I do." So thank you very much, my beautiful wife. So
yes, sir. And you just wait till you watch the recording and you see the amazing joke that I had to come up with and tell on the spot. And
I'm
I'm
so
telling
sorry.
you,
I'm so sorry. I'm so
I
sorry.
came up with a joke that had everyone in stitches, man. It was such an original. You'll have to go back and look at the recording of it. Well,
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
well, getting to where we are going today, today is going to be a session that Rawlin and I are going to talk about, and it has to do with cravings and the types of fats that people need and you don't know why. And the question itself was the secret thing that food companies put in everything that keeps you fat logged, fatigued, bogged, and brain fogged. Look, I probably should have just had Rawlin just run with that, man, because
Here, I'll ask y'all a question. Okay, yeah, y'all answer me this question. I'm gonna give it back to Vince in a few minutes. But let me ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask y'all on Facebook. I'm gonna ask y'all here in live. I'm gonna ask y'all, has anyone ever felt fat logged? And what I mean by that is not necessarily you're just big, but you just feel a little like logged up. All right. Wave at me if you've ever felt like that. Okay. If you've ever felt a little bit fatigue bogged, like when you get bogged down, it's like you can try to push yourself, you can take an energy drink, you do this, but you just feel so bogged down with a heaviness of a tiredness, right? If that's ever happened to you, this is going to be an important class to you. Or podcast. This particular, the last thing I'm going to talk about is brain fog. Anybody just ever had just a bunch of fog? It's like, I can't think. It's just cloudy, right? So there is a secret ingredient that food companies put in food. Now, the purpose of it is not to keep your brain fogged. The purpose of it is not to keep you fat logged. The purpose of it is not to keep you fatigued, bogged, but its purpose is to keep you addicted. So you keep buying that product over and 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 over again. Now, let's ask you another question for a second, okay? Let's say, has anybody ever had like an aquarium tank? Wave at me if you've ever had an aquarium. Anybody ever had an aquarium? Well, let's pretend like y'all did, because I ain't seen nobody waving at me. All right. So let's pretend you had an aquarium tank, right? And you got all these little fish in there. Okay. Well, what you got to do, like when you have a pet, what do you have to do to make sure it stays alive? Anybody?
Feed them.
That's right. You got to feed them, right? Because if you don't feed them, what happens? They die, right? You don't want your pet to die. Okay. I want y'all to think about something. Now, imagine for a second that the food companies know something about something that you have inside your gut that you don't know that you have inside your gut. Okay. Let's imagine that there's these little creatures inside your digestive tract. There's little creatures there and they're just hanging out. All right. Now here's the deal. Depending on what you eat, depends on whether they survive or not. Now these little bugs have what's called, and has a lot of doctors have written about it, is a brain-gut connection. Y'all probably heard Mr. Vince Rountree talk about 50% of your dopamine is produced in your gut. Now think about what dopamine is. Dopamine's the reward chemical. It's the thing that gets you willing to do a thing. It's the carrot on a stick for you to do activities. It's the reason why if you ever do a post and then people start commenting on it and you find yourself going back every time you get a notification that someone commented, or you reply on somebody else's comment and all of a sudden they reply back to yours, and then you go back to see what they commented or what anybody else commented about your thing, then where dopamine hits, okay? 50% of your production starts in your gut. Now let's think about this. 90% of your serotonin happens in your gut. Well, what's that? That's the happy hormone. That's what makes you feel good and alive and free and light and ready to rock. Okay. So let's think about this for a second. And over tons of neurotransmitters. Those are just two for an example. Now, here's the deal. They're produced inside your gut. Now, here's the thing, though, okay? There's a certain type of little creature that lives in your gut that eats a certain type of thing. There's another type that eats a different kind of thing. Guess which one causes you to crave bad things? The one that makes you feel brain fog. The one that makes you feel fat logged. The one that makes you feel fatigue bogged. Okay? And Vince kind of gave you a hint just a few minutes ago. And the secret ingredient that all food manufacturers put in is fat. You're like, what? Fat? Yeah. And they typically put it in the form of oil. So we're going to do an experiment, okay? Y'all don't have to do the experiment today. Well, you do have to do it today. You don't have to do it at all. Y'all are grown people. I would ask that today y'all go to your refrigerator, you go to your kitchen cabinets, you look at any ingredient, you turn around to the back, any box, any package, anything that you have, turn around to the back and look and see what the first, second, third, fourth ingredient is. And if oil is not in there, you give me a call and tell me, Rawlin, you're wrong. Because even in peanut butter, they put extra oil. Now, peanuts are the second highest calorie category that exists on planet Earth. And so that's not high enough for them. So they put the first highest calorie and they put some palm oil inside of it. Okay. Now I want you to think about this. Why do they do that? Here's the reason why. Because fat is rare in nature. And if fat is rare in nature, but yet the body needs it, then the brain and the gut says, oh, you got to eat some of that. You got to eat some of that. You got to have more of that. You got to have it right now because it's right here because they're not expecting, because your body's not expecting. And here's the crazy thing though. Has any of y'all ever tried to eat healthier for a time? For whatever circumstance you tried to eat healthier, right? Wave at me if you've ever tried to eat healthier and fallen back a little bit. Okay, this is going to be good news, right? All right. When you were doing that, did you find yourself suddenly craving the bad thing? Right? Stage is like, yeah, I sure did. I know you did, right? So here's the deal. Now think about this. If you ever felt like, man, and it seemed like it was even worse, right? The longer that you tried to resist that bad stuff, the harder it was to resist. It's just like that, right? Why? Here's the reason why. The types of gut bacteria that live off and eat and thrive off that oil, when starved from that and processed foods and all these things that we tell you not to eat, that you know you ought not to eat, they are the ingredients that feed the gut bacteria that causes the health problems, like the brain fogs. Now, here's the deal about that, though. That bacteria can communicate and control what you crave. Those little creatures in there, they control the craving you get. So guess what? When you start craving that donut, for example, you're craving processed sugar and processed fat. That's what you're craving. Why are you craving that? Because that's the gut bacteria that's living in your body. So guess what you got to do? Stop feeding it. But I'm going to tell you a secret way you can silence it without having to just, because then you're going to be like, well, I just got to bear it for how long? For a year? No. Vince will tell you how long in just a second. But let's say you don't want to go the hard route. That's the hard route. You know what the easier route is? You find whole food plant-based sources that are high in fat. And every time you have one of those cravings, you eat a little bit of that high fat whole food plant-based source, and it will calm those cravings. You see what I'm saying? Because if it's high fat and that gut bacteria, I gotta have sending all these transmissions to your brain saying, salivate, salivate, think of a donut, salivate, salivate, think about pizza, right? That's what's happening inside your brain. You can smell it, you can taste it, you can touch it, you can feel it. It's like, well, I want it. You just got to instead realize that what's happening is your system's being hijacked by that gut bacteria. Where'd it come from? From the bad foods. Where'd that come from? From the food manufacturers. And they are wiggling your chain. You don't even know it. That's the thing. And that's what most people don't know, right? Like they know it, but most people don't. And that's the reason why and here's the craziest thing. People end up blaming themselves. They say, I don't have the willpower. I love donuts too much. I love it. It's not you. It's that bacteria in your gut that the food manufacturer set up. So you keep on buying their product. Say, what? Yep. Now, you could say that they did this evilly and on purpose. I don't know. Probably not. They probably just want to sell their donuts and their chips. But then they're like, oh, we turn up that fat. People will really eat them. Turn up the fat. Try that salty potato chips. So good. Vince.
Yeah, man.
How long does it take? How long does it take for your gut flora, those little creatures in your stomach, to start changing over, to not berating your brain to eat the crappy stuff?
It literally starts.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Who's ready? Wait. Keep you on edge. Keep you on edge. How long does it take? How long does it take?
The process starts the first full day that you go plant-based. It starts. After a week, you have made a transformation more than you realize. After 2 weeks, it's basically all changed. I don't have time to give a presentation on what I think is an incredible study called Fat, Fiber, and Cancer. And I think I may have shown this in a previous Daily Huddle, but it is incredible because they did an experiment with Black Americans compared to Africans. And the Black Americans that eat the standard American diet and sausage and bacon and eggs and spaghetti and what we eat and pizza, and compared to the Africans that eat potatoes and corn and plant-based foods. And they were looking at the composition of their microbiome and looking at their propensity to get colorectal cancer. And at the start of the study, almost half of the Black Americans had the beginnings of colorectal cancer. Whereas Africans, colorectal cancer didn't exist, at least in this town that they looked at, that they were eating plant-based, and they did 20 and 20. And of the Africans, they basically they didn't have any of the material that could predict if they're going to get colorectal cancer. And in fact, it didn't exist. But after just 2 weeks, they fed the Africans, they fed them the same thing that Blacks in Pittsburgh were eating. And after 2 weeks, they did a study of their microbiome, and they all developed the precursors that will result in colorectal cancer. In 2 weeks, they went from none to it's there. Well, what happened to the Americans from Pittsburgh? In 2 weeks of eating the African diet, all of the biomarkers that will predict if they're going to get colorectal cancer, which they all had, they went away. The microbiome of your gut that has trillions of cells, trillions of bacteria type cells, it is the most adaptive organ in your body. It is literally the most adaptive organ in your body. And there are between 400 to 1,000 different species. And the species that grow are determined by what you eat. And when you eat fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, lentils, split peas, chickpeas, potatoes, oatmeal, brown rice, and other grown plant-based foods that have not been processed, when you eat those foods, your bacteria in your gut starts to change your first full day. After a week, you've made tremendous progress. After 2 weeks, it has just about completely changed. And your cravings will die with them. The foods that you crave are directly dependent upon the foods that you're eating. We have a lady in our program who was 300 pounds when she started working with us, and her goal was to lose 50 pounds by her 50th birthday. And she told us that her mother's red velvet cake was to die for. It was now look, if you've never had a red velvet cake, that's probably a good thing because it's ridiculously good.
Stacy's like, glory, hallelujah. I know what you're talking about. Stop talking right now or give it to me.
It's ridiculous with that white frosting on it. It's crazy.
No doubt.
It's crazy. This woman in our program said that after, and at this stage for her, it was more than a couple of weeks. She had been a couple of months in our program. And she went to visit her mom who had made a red velvet cake. And she told us in our next coaching session, she said, I can't believe what I just experienced. I visited mom. She was making the cake. I smelled it. I looked at it. I wanted it, but I didn't crave it. Raise your hand if you know that a craving is more than just wanting, right? It's one thing you can look at something, you can want it. Yeah, I want it, but I'm all right if I don't have it. That ain't a craving. That ain't a craving. A craving is like, look, I don't care who's around. I don't care what I look like. I don't care what nobody says. I gotta have it. This is a woman who told us, I experienced something that I have never experienced in my life. I looked at this red velvet cake, I smelled the red velvet cake, and I didn't crave it. I wanted it, but if I didn't have it, it was okay. And she didn't have one slice. She didn't have one slice, and she was okay with that. Couldn't believe it. See, you were created to survive. And for most of our existence on this planet, food has been scarce. So because of that, your brain zones in on high fat content foods because that means you're going to survive. You know, you can go back there. You're not going to starve. You've got this brain that's set up for food to be scarce. The problem is today, not only is food not scarce, it is plentiful. You probably have a refrigerator less than 10, 20 feet from where you're sitting right now. And you're probably less than a 15-minute car ride from a food store or from a grocery store. Food is plentiful. So you take this brain that was programmed around food being scarce, you put it in an environment where food is plentiful, and in an environment where food companies know that you've got a brain that was programmed around food being scarce. So they make high-fat foods with salt and sugar, and we can't resist them. We can't resist them. Here is one of the huge benefits from our 5-day program. We can fix that in 5 days without you knowing it. You know why? Because in our 5-day program, not only will we give you recipes, not only will we give you grocery lists, but we go live, and like we're doing right now, every day for 5 days, you're with other people, you're having a good time, you're interacting, you're learning new things, and every day you look forward for the next conversation, and you're with people doing the same thing, and they're posting pictures, and in 5 days you will have lost weight. And guess what also happened without you knowing it? Your microbiome has changed. I put the link in the comments, and Sorrel or Gio or Lisette, if you could copy that and put it in the Facebook group, that would be awesome. Our next 5-day challenge starts this Saturday. Click that, join our VIP group, then you get to pick our brain for an hour extra time, 45 minutes to an hour every day, and let us reverse that gut bacteria so that the cravings will go away without you even realizing it, and while having fun in the process. Oh my goodness, it is 29 minutes after the hour. Rawlin, man, and I didn't even...
You did good, man. You did good. I think that was great. I think that's a great bow tie to put on it. The biggest thing I want to leave people is don't blame yourself for your cravings. Like, if you're trying to adjust your diet and it feels like you're at war with yourself, you're not at war with yourself. You're at war with the gut bacteria that's in your gut. That's who you're fighting, okay? There's these little creatures you can't even see, all right? Don't allow the food manufacturers to use mind control on you through these little invisible gut creatures that they know about that you don't know about, right? So that's the whole reason we present this today like this, in this way. It's the reason why we have that 5-day challenge that way, because people just don't understand what can happen in 5 days. I remember Andrea. She's been plant-based for, how long have you been plant-based, Andrea? She don't even know, a long time. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're not, I thought you were vegan.
You said, see, is the English thing. I thought you were saying plain base, and I thought the instrument, and I'm like, where is he going with this question? I don't know how to answer this. But vegan. I've been vegan for 4 years. 4 years.
When she took her challenge, even after 4 years of being vegan, how much weight did you lose in those 5 days?
7 pounds.
Oh, did y'all hear that?
Pounds. And it was just switching the thinking about the oil and the ingredients, reading the ingredients in your products.
Exactly. So thank you very much. I just wanted to share that because like people think, oh, well, I already eat healthy, right? She already ate healthy in a large way, right? And it's just like there's just a few tweaks people just don't understand. And if you are already eating healthy, holy crap, what happens to you? We had a guy last time around, he was in general admission and he was a big guy, but he lost 10 pounds in 5 days. We got him to come on. I got like the best 5. I don't think we have a better 5-minute testimonial from anyone in the history of the world. He was so excited. He was like, oh my gosh, I've been trying to lose weight for 4 years. My doctor's trying to get me to do all this weight loss surgery and I'm eating more food. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Right? And that's right, Stacy. The joke is that even Oreos are vegan. That's exactly right. The vegan diet will not get someone healthy, right? Because you can eat Oreos and you can eat donuts and you can eat all kinds of stuff that's vegan that, you know, you use plant-based butters and put it all over your baked potato like there. And there's some used to vegan stuff that tasted not so good. Now they got some vegan stuff that tastes like really good. It's like, whoa, you know what happened? The food manufacturer said, wait a minute, we can do the same thing to these vegan people as we're doing everybody else. We can make them crave all our stuff. How we do it? We're going to put the same stuff in the vegan stuff that we put that causes everybody to be addicted to the other stuff. Hope to see y'all on the 5-day challenge. And if not, no worries. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Y'all be looking for the Daily Huddle episode tomorrow. Y'all have a blessed day. And Vince is going to tear off his glasses and say cool stuff and lean into the camera. Y'all get ready for it.
I'm about ready to wrap out, but I do want to address Andrea's comment that veganism is not a diet. That's the difference. Veganism is the treatment of animals, and animals should not be used for food, for clothing, for entertainment, and they should be treated with love and kindness. But you can eat whatever you want as long as you don't mess with animals. And there's a lot of unhealthy things that you can eat and still fit within that vegan diet frame. But what we promote is eating fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, beans, lentils, split peas, chickpeas, potatoes, brown rice, and other unprocessed plant-based foods. That's where the health is. And that is a small segment of a vegan diet. But there's a lot of things in a vegan diet that we don't eat, that we recommend that you not eat because it's not healthy. You can do vegan diet in a very unhealthy way. But eating unprocessed plant-based foods will change your life. It will change your life. Okay, I apologize. I've gone 4 minutes over it. I just want you to think about this. You only have one body in this lifetime. If you don't take care of it, where are you going to live? You only have one body in this lifetime. So eat as though your life depends on it, because it does. My name is Vince Rountree. Thank you for joining me on Daily Huddle this morning.
Thanks, Vince. Thanks, Rawlin. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you so much, Dan.
All right. Thank you, Daily Huddle family.
Thanks, Papa Man. See y'all
Thanks,
later.
Stacy. Always a pleasure, brother.
Bye, guys.